Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
Press my alarm. Что мы делаем? Так. Понял. Так. Отдыхает спора. Вырывается из комнаты. Угу.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system. The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
А вентиляция где? Так. Всё ок. А вентиляция где? Сейчас по кругу бегаем. Стоп, вентиляция, это, по-моему, то, что там на улице. Вот она. Вентиляция.
Before starting the power is on.
Ага.
The engine cannot be started whilst the transmission is active.
Ага.
The engine has started.
Окей. Так. Она чуть потеряла, но я знаю почему.
The ventilation system is working.
Ага. А как на это посмотреть? А как на эту посмотреть?
Dry.
Ну иди.
Now we need to see if we can activate the fans from Mr. Hamish's and Albert's space.
Ага. Развернись. Так, откуда я пришла? Оттуда? Нет. Значит, в другую сторону. Где он? А, точно, ежа нету сейчас. Так. Отсюда проще находить, где они были. Вспоминать. Это nursery.
Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one.
Так.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window. This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
В серединке. Стол.
This is one of
Ага. Вот тут.
perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
Ох, сам найдешь.
It works.
Он сам
perfectly,
дошел.
Holmes.
Ого.
Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
Так. Стоп. Нам нужно что-то еще, да? Просто интересно. Вот, ну а здесь чего-то нет. А если секта причастна? Нет. Секта украла все. Все построила секта. Возможно, если Хэмиша все руинит. Есть еще улики какие-то. Должны быть.
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
Нет, 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 нет. Я что-то еще не нашла. Это мне... Это все на поверхности. Мне не дает другие. О, точно, я вспомнила, что нужно еще посмотреть. Я не помню, в какую дверь выходить, поэтому... Нам же Маргарет говорила послушать запись. Запись... А где запись? Павильон семян. Лаборатория. Секунду. 6-3. Окей.
Here it is. Cylinder Records.
Угу. Так, здесь больше ничего нет важного. Нет.
I don't hear.
These plants, classified as shrubs or grasses, have adapted to their arid environment due to a system of underground roots.
This recording seems very long. It is unnecessary to listen to all of it. Miss White was in the laboratory, as she told us.
Так, она была в лаборатории. Окей. Просто найс. У него была возможность. Мотив. Ну. Но это же не Хэмиш. М. Это не Хэмиш. Мне нужен Тем. Я как будто бы все посмотрела, но чего-то не хватает. Мне нужен Тем. Я не... Явно не все. Где моя Левеха? Ладно. Потом. М. Я что-то не нашла точно. Потому что мне дают только одного человека обвинить. О, стоп. А я могу здесь пошарить? Нет?
Let's go to Scotland
Нет,
Yard.
нет, 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 нет. Это не Хэмиш. Это слишком очевидно было бы. Ну, слишком прям. Так, стоп. А, нет. Ясно. Значит, его нужно обвинить в любом случае. Окей. Понятно. Я посмотрела, потому что... Ты не Хэмиш, блин. Иллюстрат. Здорово.
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to
Слишком
arrest him.
очевидно.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you. Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
Где он? Где? 4. А, ну я не понял. А,
Holmes, my God!
Yes, we found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
ой, спасибо за донат, я думаю. Так, надо посмотреть, этого не видно. Если что, музыки у меня, понятно, нет, потому что я нынче заливаю, так как прохождение. Есть пин все-таки найдется. Очень красиво. Хорошо. О, спасибо большое. 600 рублей. Ну, если что, за вот эти средства другой пин будет. Отправлен 100%. Спасибо большое за донат. И за вот это вот. Главное, что пин нашелся. Что... Куда без пина? Он классный. У него самой на... Где у меня сейчас он висит? На джинсовой куртке у меня висит мой пин. У меня есть еще один. У меня от одного отвалилась эта штучка сзади, крепилка. Поэтому я оставила себе еще один без этой штуки, с иглой. Надо будет придумать, чем ее закрыть. Где-то там, не знаю, может где-то в Америке еще упал, потерялся. Но они офигенные. На джинсовке сел. Ну, у меня там дофига пинов висит. До того, как потеплело достаточно, я его к рюкзаку приделывала. Не знаю, может, где-то было на фотографиях, на видео. Я с черным рюкзаком ходила. Вот я себе туда его приделывала. Все боялась, что у меня оттуда может упасть. С куртки-то точно не свалится. Если у меня оттуда свалится то что-нибудь, то это будет с грохотом, наверное. Или хотя не, пока оно у меня будет падать, у меня пин застрянет в других пинах. Все такое. Поэтому там я не беспокоюсь. Так. Ой, я что-то... Надежда его. Я думаю, найдется. Ой, у нас там каналы новые в Дискорде делают. Сперва все хотите. Эх. Ударение на «и». Если правильно, но без разницы на самом деле. Как удобнее. А вообще на «и», да.
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case. The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Причем к слабости.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
Так, сейчас, секунду, надо сделать... Почему у меня здесь открыто? М, 10.6. Сейчас тут нужно поменять кое-что. Теперь я говорю, что я вам прохожу. Так. Марц. Так, где еще мне нужно? Sinking Sea — это по Лавкрафту я посмотрела, да. Ну, там, наверное, тоже что-то детективное. Поэтому так выглядит похоже. Так. Убираем здесь слово current. Current. И... Так. Это в Твиттере. Мгм. А, у меня там это был старый прикол. Блин, по-другому назывался он. Это было на невероятно крутую большую сходку или что-то такое. Я писала. Ух, потом переделала на очень важную сходку. Ну, на самом деле, это просто такое. Мне интересно, сколько можно заполнить за, не знаю, за то время, пока не произойдет какое-нибудь событие интересное, определенное, про которое, конечно же, я не скажу. Но пока что это все удлиняется, а те данные, которые собираются, в нынешней ситуации использую просто на жизнь. В магазин сходить. Там бывает. Ну, в принципе, вообще интересно, какой процент реально заполнить. Вот так. 9:30. Отправились. 10:10. 10:10. Было без 20 минут 10, когда Хэмиш и Монтегю Даун отправились в задний двор. Так. Без 20:10. Тыгам. А, стоп. А, нет. Должно быть. Так. Монтегю. Да, он отправлен в 30 минут точно. Может быть, даже раньше. Хотя нет, стоп. Как только увидел, что плохо. Это было около 30 минут. Говорил в 10:00. Находилась до 40 минут. Так, 10 минут. Значит, в 9:50 он был в сухих тропиках. Это было в 10:50. На задний двор они в 40 минут ушли.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Так. Вот так. М. Так, можно еще раз? Так. Встретились в лаборатории. Для этого керосинга. Они пообщались.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
Блин, я
which is quite
думаю, что это женщина. Но...
enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Я думаю, он не причастен. Ой, нет. Нет, он не единственный виновен. У Уайт было время. Чёрт. Ох. Ну, попробуем. Не знаю, я хочу ее съесть. Попробуем, насколько правда.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining: the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her. quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop!
Что сделать надо?
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Well
Вот
done,
он очень...
Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
Мисс Уайт — опасная женщина, способная на убийство. Когда она осознала, что не получит больше финансовую поддержку от Дана, она переключилась на Альберта, его сына. Это она заперла дверь в комнату с колониальной коллекцией сразу после того, как Хэмиш подбросил гусениц. И затем довела Мартина Хэмиша до самоубийства. Чтобы защитить себя, она получила то, что заслужила. Странненько. Так. Так, там 1-1 у них. Угу. Кому сделать такой же моральный выбор? Я все еще сочувствующий. Так, прогулка в лунном свете.
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson,
We have. Where to?
to the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet. They...
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner.
Спасибо,
Menu,
классный.
entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Ah, sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash.
Ну, в смысле?
Stewed turnips in homemade
Это тоже
juice.
звучит
And
нормально.
it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Well, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes is my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
Well, and forget about the dinner. Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're
Oh,
fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
так, помогаем детям. Это важно. Так, что? Это растение. Скажите последнее на Халфман-стрит. Смотрите место по границе на Халфман-стрит. Допросите Лейдена, осмотрите его вещи в Скотланд-Ярде. Так, пойдем сначала все осмотрим. Потом будем говорить.
Holmes, poor little Wiggins needs our help.
Здорово. Курить вредно. Так, дверь. Или что-нибудь. Это пока нет. Ага. Тут выкидывает. Мгм.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving. Who were the victims?
The two men here, both shot. The stat fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweler by trade.
Откуда у бродяжки пистолет? И стрелять? Смысл ему это делать? Уже сразу.
You spoke
Логика.
of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be
Так,
delighted
секунду.
to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course. Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me. A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there. He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant. The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound. Brian Vercotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die. The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance. This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
А так ты его не видел, да?
Piece
Серьезно?
of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new.
Так. Тут все. Wiggins.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things. Things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story? Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw two bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the two shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with the gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
Стоял. Надо привлечь к полиции. Кого не видел в окна? Так. Теперь мне нужно...
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
Окей. Боись, пацан, мы спасем твоего брата. Мы знаем, что он не виновен. Мадам.
Mrs. Powell?
Так. 2-5.
Do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
Hmm.
This mirror is turned towards Half Moon Street.
О, какая 6. Значит, тут все.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing